Hello and welcome, my friends. Welcome to Sunday. Welcome to the full Sturgeon moon. We can now embrace that full moon energy. We can utilize it to our advantage, and we can start to heed its wisdom, if you will. The full Sturgeon moon comes to its fullest point on August 1st, which is Tuesday, and we can still continue to work with this energy until around Thursday, August 3rd. So we have some time with this energy, which gives us some time to get some of that work done that we so desperately want to do and need to do. Now, this full moon is called the full Sturgeon moon because this is a time where sturgeon, and I'm pretty sure other fish, become very predominant. So when the fishermen and women, went to fill their baskets, they would find more fish at this time of year because the baby fish are coming forward and coming to that point of adulthood, if you will. So we're starting to see that abundance come forward. And speaking of abundance and coming forward, and of course on August 1st, we have Lunasa, which is the beginning of the harvest, which really does speak with what the full Sturgeon moon is talking about. So, the decks. I do have the Tarot of the Divine. Fantastic deck. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love the feel of it as it's a linen deck and it has a nice texture to it. And I'm accompanying it with the Loracle Oracle. It's a gorgeous watercolor deck. Lots of vibrance. I love it. I wanted playful decks as there's still a lot of energies in flux and many of us are still struggling. So we need something that's going to be bright and helpful. Okay, let's look at this. What can my friends expect from the full Sturgeon moon? And before we get too far into this, August is a unique month. We haven't seen one, I think, since like 2020? It's been years since we've seen this phenomenon happen. And that is a blue moon. Blue moons happen when you have two full moons in one month. We, of course, have the full Sturgeon moon on Tuesday, August 1st. We have a second moon, the blue moon, or also known as the blue Sturgeon moon, on August 28th. So we get kind of a 2-for-1 in August, which is really cool. Oh, and I should mention, the blue moon is a super moon too. So lots and lots of extras there. The Four of Swords. It's in reversal. It's kind of a scary Four of Swords. It's not one I connect in with a lot, but it's a scary Four of Swords. Then we have the Eight of Swords in upright. Getting to be very pokey and to the point is the Sturgeon moon today. And the Four of Wands. Right away, we've got the double fours. Fours are a foundational number, not only in tarot, but also in angel messages. When you have that multiple 4, the angels are reminding you to focus in on that foundation, that structure, that groundedness. So right away, that 8, it's in the middle, right? We know that many of us are feeling stuck, overwhelmed. They're just, everywhere we turn, there seems to be something more. And it's, well, it's a lot. And sure, we could try and take care of ourselves. And I think that's maybe why we need this Four of Swords in its scary space, is because we do feel all bound up. And yeah, it would be great to do some self-care, some releasing, and some all the other stuff. It's just a lot to ask. We want the fire, we want the connection, we want that celebration. It's really hard. And the full Sturgeon moon is acknowledging that. We seem to have an abundance of sad and stuck. However, that's not going to support us. The full Sturgeon moon wants us to look at that sad and stuck. It's not about, oh, well, I don't have time for it. It's now more, what support do you need to get this unstuck? It's kind of calling us to task here. We're not going to see any movement. We're not going to get to this Four of Wands until we pass through this. What help do you need? And it's going to be important that you're the one who answers that for you honestly. Because there's only so much more we can take before this turns into the 9, and it really gets even harder from there. We need to use our head. We need to use our critical thinking skills. What's going to help right now? And what can I do right now? Adding extra may not be a good thing. However, that's not how we have to work it. If we need extra help, we need to be honest with self before it gets worse, and then contact that help. However, if we're not that deep into it, maybe it's shifting perspective. Looking at releasing some of that gunkiness, that stuckness, through working smarter. Instead of trying to add in lots of extra, let's work smarter here. Using intentional bathing to our advantage. So when you get into the shower, like we do most days, as you're getting your towel ready and you're getting undressed to get into the shower, ask your high vibrational support team to support you in releasing that gunk. And then as you're washing your hair, as you're washing your body, that's where you start to see that gunk come off. You start to feel the heaviness be released from your shoulders. You can also do that through intentional sleeping. Again, as you're getting into bed, asking for the help. Because again, I said we need to work smarter and ask for the help we need. Asking for that help as we climb into bed to release some of this peace. Help to rejuvenate us and make us feel physically, emotionally, and spiritually stronger, less stuck while we sleep. I would also say, because we do have the double swords, that you may want to add in and help me remember any important information when I wake up. Then also, I would encourage you to have that piece of paper and pen at hand so you can start writing it down before you get into bed. It's amazing what we forget between our bed and our bathroom. Those little things will really help to move you forward. If you add in even more, you're going to see that open up even more. I do have a meditation with Archangel Metatron where I do look at releasing some of this stuff with him. It's about a 30-minute meditation. It's not a lot of extra. You might feel able to do it. You might not be. That's okay. We need to start to work smarter. Work with the tools that are going to support us. Now, for my friends who are new here, welcome. I give you guys guidance and support. So I've got lots of tools on my channel here that are free and guided, and they range in time value, so you can start to connect into what tools will help you get rid of some of this funky gunkiness so that you can start to embrace that rite of passage, which is very much the Four of Wands. We get out of this and we start to see that fire ignite within us. We feel stronger. We feel more empowered. There are more things and aspects in our lives that bring us that fulfillment and joy that we need. We have a better foundation to work off of. All right, let's look at what other tools will support my friends to embrace the full Sturgeon moon. Release some of that sword and take up that wand. The Elder Dragicorn, calling elemental and truth. Okay, that's a lot, but it nails it on the head. We need to be truthful for ourselves. The more we are, the more honest we are. Again, not brutal. This is not being self-critical or overcritical. This is about honesty, about the truth. Truth of self to self. That is going to support us with that aha. Elemental. I already said the importance of water. Using water to our advantage. Again, this is working smarter rather than harder. And calling. I said to have that binder close at hand. It's not just getting unstuck. The full Sturgeon moon wants to give you those ahas, that boost up, that get up and go. Because we have that get up and go. The cockatrice. Deadly toxic scaled. Well, I'm not going to go and beat this any more than it already is. However, the Eight of Swords, that stuck funky gunkiness, it is toxic. Toxic to you and toxic to others. Know that this is not just a you specific thing. This is kind of, well, this is a group reading for everybody. We're all feeling this burn, which means people are going to be reactive. They are going to jump down your throat. They are going to be snarly and rude. It is going to be important that we stay in control of self, using those critical thinking skills, even though we're feeling overwhelmed, using those critical thinking skills, that third eye thinking center, so we're staying above this. Back to that elemental piece, air, taking deep breaths. It will help you overcome some of that stuck gunkiness. It will also help you stay in control and less reactive. We need to be less reactive and more in control of self. That's going to support us to get over the challenges over the next 4 days. And let's be honest, the tools we use to get over this are going to help us as we go forward, as Mercury goes into retrograde on the 23rd. So again, kind of a preliminary, let's polish up some of those tools piece here. And let's be honest, some people are not going to shift out of this stuff. They're going to carry it into Mercury retrograde. So it's going to be something to be aware of. All right, let's look at further insight and information that we can share with my friends so that they can pass through that rite of passage. Embrace that wand. Embrace that shift. The Devil, the 15th card in the Major Arcana, and it does talk about that lower self. We know it's there, and we know it's behind a lot of this, and it's behind that reaction. It's going to be important to be able to label it. Know, understand, third eye here, guys. Know what's happening. Understand that this is going to be that snake in the grass that comes up and, well, comes out of nowhere and rears up and catches you off guard. Going to go back to that elemental piece, that grounded stability. Like I said, that 4 is really predominant here. Making sure we do have that foundation. We're in control of self. Grounding ourselves, whether it be through meditation, whether it be through putting simple things like cinnamon or nutmeg in our coffee to help bring us into that root chakra, to help stabilize us, to help calm us. My crystal friends, of course, any red or black crystal will really help. This crystal is labradorite. It's kind of a gray-brown color. It does work with our root chakra. It is also a protection crystal. It is what's called a guardian crystal. It's fantastic at helping us release some of this and give us that grounded stability. But any red or black crystal, my go-to for grounding is, of course, tiger iron, which is a a mix of tiger eye, red jasper, and I want to say black tourmaline. I know there's a black something in it. King of Wands. That fire, that passion. We're going to go from sadness and sorrow to, well, think of yourself as that phoenix reborn. And that's what I'm feeling here. The Sturgeon moon is really going to bring us that inner fire. We're in control of self rather than our lower self in control of us. We want to make sure that we have that fulfillment, that passion, that zhuzh for life. That's going to help us not only take hold of abundant and budding areas of life, but it's going to make life so much more fulfilling, so much more joyous. The Queen of Swords in reversal. Be mindful not to overthink things, minimize, limit, and really be aware of negative self-talk, because that's gonna really aggravate these ones. The two wands go hand in hand, and the other four cards, they're kind of a warning. Get the help we need. Make sure that we're using our words and staying in control. We don't want to overthink things. We don't want to negative self-talk, beat self up, minimize self, minimize challenges and problems. We want to be honest with self. A lot of the last couple of weeks, we haven't been that honest. That's why the Queen is in reversal. We want to make sure that we're learning and breaking patterns here, rather than just avoiding and allowing the pattern to grow bigger and more challenging. So the full Sturgeon moon is offering you some shift out of the heavy funky into that brilliant passion, that fire, that fulfillment. Know these are only opportunities and energies that will encourage this. You have to be the one in the controller seat. You need to be the King of Wands. You have to take control. This king, he's usually sitting kind of leaning forward, whereas the other kings, they're assuming control of their throne. He's ready for that next adventure, and we need to have that anticipation, that excitement for that next piece. We don't have that right now. We need to embrace that king energy, that full energy, that fire, passion, and excitement. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today. I hope that this helped you to understand what you can expect from the full Sturgeon moon. If you did like this session, please remember to give it a thumbs up, as it does help people find me on the sea of YouTube. More importantly for you, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. There's so much more coming forward. You don't want to miss any of it. Additionally, if you want an added layer of support, I do have a Ko-fi and Patreon page. I've put links below so you can go check them out for yourselves. Again, I want to thank you for joining me in this exploration of the full Sturgeon moon. Until tomorrow, my friends.